Welcome back to another video of Sports Debate. And so, I think about 2 hours ago, Miami and the 49ers, and then the Miami and the Eagles had a blockbuster trade. A whole bunch of firsts were involved, a third was involved, and now the draft order sits with the 49ers with the third overall pick, the Dolphins with the sixth overall pick, which was previously owned by the Eagles, and now with the 12th overall pick are the Eagles. And so we just wanted to make a video. Which team outside of the Dolphins and the 49ers was impacted most by this trade movement? And that could be benefited most or hurt most. And so we're going to start with Rohit. So Rohit, take it away.
Alrighty, so as a Broncos fan, I was ecstatic when I heard this news because, all right, first I'm going to clear this up regarding Deshaun Watson. If he, did all those things, if he really did what the 14 people are claiming, or however many the number is, he does not deserve to be in the league. Like that, just this is assuming he's innocent. Deshaun Watson, like the report a few weeks ago or a week ago was that Broncos and Niners are the only two teams Deshaun Watson wants to play for, and that's important because he has a no-trade clause, so he can dictate where he wants to go, basically. So now that the Niners are presumably taking a quarterback, and I don't believe the whole Jimmy G stuff, the Broncos are like the clear running for Deshaun Watson, and, it's been 5 years since we've had Peyton Manning. We need a good quarterback. Drew Lock sucks, I'm sorry, but we have such a good team around, and we have such a young team. Having Deshaun Watson would be amazing, and we're like the only option for him now.
All right, so I'm going to have to agree with Rohit as well. I'm not a Broncos fan like Rohit is, but I do agree that the Broncos are in a very good spot because, one, like Rohit said, they have a very good team. The defense is very good. They also added Kyle Fuller, a more veteran, on a one-year deal at a very cheap price. So they have an extremely good defense, and if you add a top-5 quarterback like Deshaun Watson, it makes your team an automatic title contender. And maybe with a lucky win, or maybe not even lucky win, but a win over in the playoffs over maybe the Chiefs or the Bills, whatever team you come by, you might end up in the Super Bowl with the real chance of actually winning the Super Bowl. That's the kind of impact a guy like Deshaun Watson can have on your team. And not only does he elevate the entire team, he elevates your specific players as well, right? Like Cortland Sutton would immediately become better. Jerry Jeudy would immediately become better. Melvin Gordon would immediately become better. So everyone becomes better, and Broncos become legit title contenders.
So I agree with you, and I have some flaws with both your arguments, which I'll probably talk about later. But first, I want to preface that this trade was a win-win for both the Niners and the Dolphins. But there was a loser, a pretty significant loser, and that was the Carolina Panthers. Why? Because now the first overall pick is going to be a quarterback, the second overall pick is going to be a quarterback, and the third overall pick is going to be a quarterback. And the fourth overall
maybe
pick...
the fourth.
Yeah, I mean, the fourth overall pick is like... It's the Falcons. Yeah, it's the Falcons. They're an aging Matt Ryan. And the chances that a quarterback falls to, I think, pick number 7 is a lot less likely now. And I want to say that the Carolina Panthers, they have a young running back, arguably the best running back in football. They have a young core wide receivers, and by not improving the quarterback position, they are suffering long term. Because before this trade, one of the 4 quarterbacks was guaranteed to fall to them, unless you have some significant trade, right? Which just happened. Now, that's no longer happening. And the future of the Carolina Panthers are at stake because they spent a 9th overall pick on a running back, and now that running back's not going to be able to thrive properly and not going to be able to put them in a position to win because they have a quarterback in Teddy Bridgewater who puts them in a position to lose. Well, that is why the Carolina Panthers lost, and now they are screwed for years to come unless they bomb next year get a quarterback.
I think this is more impactful. I agree with what you're saying, but I think it's a little much of a stretch to say they're doomed for years. This isn't like the only draft they can get a quarterback. Sure, the quarterbacks in this draft are really, really good, but certainly next year they can they have capital. They can certainly trade up and get someone next year, and maybe it won't be someone as good as like Justin Fields or Zach Wilson could be, but it'll still be like a really good quarterback. So I don't think they're I don't think they're screwed. And I think,
But
Deshaun Watson is such a superstar that if there's a potential that if this is the move that brought him to the Broncos and made them contenders, I think that's just a huge impact.
Yeah.
But you know what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen now? They're going to pick the 5th best quarterback, Mac Jones. And they're picking him with the 7th overall pick. 8th overall pick. Some people have him going like a 2nd round talent, a 3rd round talent. He's going 8th overall. Is that not going to hurt an organization for years whenever he's the quarterback?
This is a little bit unrelated, but Mac Jones is not a scrub. Like, I was watching a podcast today, and they were saying Mac Jones, like Michael Lombardi, who's a pretty respected, draft reporter. He was like, I'm pretty sure the Dolphins are going to take Mac Jones not Dolphins. 49ers are going to take Mac Jones at 3.
Because they have Kyle Shanahan.
Still, Mac Jones is one of the smartest players, and so what if he's not maybe as athletically gifted as the other guys? If he can play I'm not comparing him to Peyton Manning, but, quarterbacks, I know in this day and age it's
Tom
better
Brady
to be
isn't
athletic it's better to run. Exactly. If you're really smart and you have such good talent around you, I don't think it's a bad...
Tom Brady also has a top 5 offensive line. He doesn't have to move. The Carolina
Tom Brady
Panthers
also
are
played
losing
super
Trey
well.
Turner.
Tom Brady played well in New England for years without talent. I don't think...
But New England's always had one of the best offensive lines in football.
I don't think... Jones...
You can have an unathletic quarterback if you have a good offensive line that requires them from not being athletic. The Carolina Panthers do not have a terrific offensive line. And regarding your Denver Broncos point, in econ, we have this term, ceteris paribus. It means like all things not considered. Everything remains still. That's not football. Deshaun Watson, I don't think he gets traded to the Broncos because he does have 14 sexual allegation charges. And I think that is, well, if those are true, I think he deserves to go to prison. And also, I saw something today. Guess who has more trade ammunition already?
It's not about trade ammunition, though. It's not about trade ammunition. It's about Deshaun Watson literally saying, I do not want to go to Miami. I do not want to go to Carolina. I don't want to go to New York. I want to go to San Francisco or Denver.
Who wouldn't want to go to Miami? They have no
He
capital
said
gains
that.
tax.
He said that. It's not that like someone's thinking
he said
that.
Miami, he said he wanted to go to Miami earlier this offseason.
We're going off the most recent ones.
Mind.
Dash, let me live in my dream of getting Deshaun Watson, please.
All fun and games until you guys trade for Deshaun Watson, and then he goes to prison.